Hello, Aquarius. This is Art Kozak for Art Kozak Tarot, and this is your Wheel of Fortune reading for March 2020. The Wheel of Fortune is a reading designed specifically to let you know where your opportunities lie for the coming month. And these can be opportunities coming up for you to expand yourself, to grow, to forward your goals, but they're typically things that you may not be aware of just yet, things that circumstances coming up that you may or may not yet see coming. So, and hopefully I'm also going to give you some advice on how best to pursue those opportunities and what the results might be. Now, what I can tell you, Aquarius, in this coming month is that you are in the perfect position to take things on. No matter what the challenges or the opportunities might be, you are going to be feeling in your full power. It may not feel that way just yet. You may not be expecting that of yourself. But you're going to find that you have all the resources you need, all of the internal and external resources you need to take on, again, any challenge or opportunity that you see coming your way. And I do see some of your opportunities coming with challenges this month. First of all, there's something that you are going to have the opportunity to face something that is intolerably boring to you. It's an option that you really just don't want. It's something that you just find yourself dragging yourself into having to do. And whatever this may be, and this is a little bit enigmatic, but so it may be different for different people out there. This may have to do with just simply an event that you have to go to, like a social event, or this may have to do with some task that you need to perform. But the advice the cards are giving you, and it comes with a little bit of a warning. I think what I'm seeing here is that what the cards are telling you is that if you run away from that, then you are going to wind up finding yourself being bound by it. Okay, you're going to find yourself in a trap if you run away from it. If you run to it, if you go to it, just address you with all your energy and get to it, even though it's really boring. You address it, you take your internal resources and go, you will find that, yes, you've faced this thing, you've done this thing, but you were bound to do it all along. And so now you have overcome the challenge. Okay, now you've gotten to a place where you recognize, yes, I had to do this, whether I wanted to or not, but hey, I put my all into it. And that's really the opportunity you have here, is to put your all into something and to be well rewarded, even though it's something that doesn't really excite you, okay? I also see that you are going to be turning away from something in the coming month, and this is most likely something that you already have suspicions about or that you already know about. And I think this might be a romantic situation if you are in a bad relationship that you know you need to get out of. I try not to encourage that because I hate it when people break up. So, use your best judgment there. But the cards are telling me that it's most likely going to be some kind of professional situation or something that you're putting your effort into, your more professional or your more diligent kind of effort into, is something you need to turn away from. That you're over it, and you're just over it. You're going to have the opportunity to finally be over something in the coming month, and that is going to put you in a position where you are then able to accomplish so much more. You're going to be in a position, now that you've gotten this thing out of the way, you can do whatever you want. And this is on the table. This is represented by the Two of Wands, which is my card for being able to do whatever you want, being kind of at a starting place. Please forgive the dog. That's Gambler. He's my dog friend most of the time. You are going to be at a place where you're able to do whatever you want, and it's clarified on the table again by the Two of Wands. So if there's something that you know you need to turn away from, or something that you are just plain over, getting that off the table is going to be a very good thing for you, because it's going to put you in a position where you're going to be much more capable to build in the future, okay, for the future going forward. You're going to face a circumstance coming up And I see this just kind of intuitively. I see this as something that's being brought to you rather than you bringing to the situation. Um, you're gonna have you're gonna face something, maybe a person, maybe just a circumstance, which isn't necessarily all that honest. Somebody trying to play you, essentially. Somebody trying to finagle, or a situation in which it's really kind of unfair or underhanded the way things are being done. Facing that circumstance, the advice the cards have for you is to just go ahead and let it come. Be inviting. Okay, bring it. That's the attitude you need to have to that. Go ahead, bring it. Because you are going to wind up being the one who is on top of this situation, who wins out in the situation. The result here is represented by the Knight of Pentacles. So, again, this may be a professional circumstance going on, but you are going to find yourself in a position because of this, because you faced this situation and this dishonest situation or person, whatever it might be, that's trying to game you somehow. Just tell them, go ahead and bring it. Be open, be honest yourself. Take that kind of attitude. You'll be placed in a position where you're able to accomplish things going forward without that kind of drama. Okay, it's the Knight of Pentacles is a very drama-free kind of card. It's a very down-to-earth kind of thing, and that kind of energy is going to propel you into the future where you're able to work on things again, build your goals going forward even more from this month forward, because you face this in an open and honest fashion. You also are going to be doing something very challenging in the coming month in March. This has come up, that you're not the first sign for whom this has come up, and this may be, because of the season that we're in, this may be a physical challenge. So if you're an athlete, if you're doing something athletic, you might be running a marathon, you might be running a race, you might be participating in something along those lines. You might be taking on some big challenge around the house that involves a lot of physical effort. You may just have something on the table for you, whether it's physical or not, that requires a great deal of effort on your part. Now, again, you are in a position this coming month in which you have all the ability, you have all the resources you need, and you have all the ability you need to put those resources into action. And so in this case, whatever this is, the advice the cards are giving you is to try to look at it from a different angle. Okay, if you want to win, if you want to really charge forward, and that's going to be the result for you if you do this. You're going to charge forward with your passion and your energy and just go. Because if you look at this from a different direction, you may, if this is some kind of a physical challenge, you may need to rethink the way that you train or the way that you prepare for it. Okay, you may need to prepare for it a little bit differently than you normally do. Try to see if there's some kind of better way or a more appropriate way that you can prepare yourself. If this is more of a mental challenge, because just somehow I'm picking up on that intuitively, definitely give it some serious thought. Try to think outside of the box, because by doing that, thinking outside of the box, you, again, are going to be able to charge forward and win through. Coming up in this month, I also see you dealing with a very strong person in your life. This is represented by the Emperor in the tarot, and because of the circumstances on the table, or the different cards on the table, and just intuitively as well, what I'm picking up here is that this is probably representing a person in your life as well. A very strong, probably male figure, traditionally male energy, masculine, yang energy, someone who is very in control, very self-possessed, shall we say, and rightfully so. If this is a romantic prospect for you, which may be the case for many of you, the approach that the cards are recommending, or whatever the situation might be, the approach that the cards are recommending is to take an inventory, take a kind of a self-inventory of who you are and what you've got, okay? And again, whether this is a romantic situation or not, I'll use that as an example. if you have someone, if you're looking for a male figure to be your romance partner, then the best approach that the cards are giving you is to take a good, honest stock of who you are, what your attributes are, what your qualities are, what you have to offer. Okay, be a little bit patient. Be patient with yourself. And I'm not talking about, this is not self-criticism. It's about being honest. It's also about being patient with yourself. And then go into this situation, because there is an invitation in the offing for this. This is the result, is an invitation. And so if this is a profession, I could see this playing out professionally for some of you as well. If you are dealing with a very strong and successful organization, if you're having to submit your resume to a very upstanding and a very successful kind of organization or person, then take a good stock of what that resume says. Again, in a romantic situation, the same applies. Take a good stock of your romantic resume. Make sure you have all of your best qualities in mind so that you can have those to offer. And because there will be an invitation extended, either by you or by this other person, probably by the other person, extended and accepted, I think. And so you want to go into it with your best qualities there. You definitely have these things available. Again, this is your energy in the coming month, as you have all the best of yourself available. So hopefully something I've said here will be helpful to you in the coming month. I think by the end of the month, you are going to be in a place where you've faced some challenges, you've learned a little bit about yourself, and you've really discovered some of your best qualities. Okay, you've learned a little bit more about your strengths and your ability to use your strengths. Once again, this is Art Kozak, and I thank you for being here. I thank you for your likes, your sharings, your subscribings. There is a link to our Patreon page in the description box below as well for those of you interested in some additional readings and supporting the channel. And I look forward to speaking to you again in the future.